The movie's starting scene shows a boat being seized by the Marine Patrol Police. To take a note of this particular guy, whom we will learn about very soon. Sivados is a Don, a rival to Peter Sprott, but is a savior for London's Tamil-speaking population. Sivados' men kill Peter Sprott's nephew with the help of his girlfriend, and Peter is seen killing his deceased nephew's girlfriend and his gang members who led his nephew's death. Surali is a gangster in Madurai and runs a parota restaurant. Since Surali is famous due to his deeds, it has been difficult to find him a bride. At the wedding day, the bride runs away after coming to know about Surali's criminal history. Surali's reputation reaches John through Vivek. John is a right-hand man of the London-based British supremacist racist Don Peter Sprott. Peter Sprott hires Surali, offering £200,000 per week to work along with him against his rival Sivados. Surali accepts the money offer so that with the money one day Surali will settle down, have his parota restaurant and give up his criminal activities. Vivek is the mediator between Surali and Peter. Surali learns that Bicor is a bill proposed to restrict the entry of immigrants, and Minister Andrews is fighting against the bill to not get passed in the parliament so that the immigrants won't suffer. Vivek's girlfriend is working in the core committee of Minister Andrews' office. Surali falls in love with Attila, a Sri Lankan Tamilian singer who works in a bar. Around this time, Surali befriends Tharani, who is working for Sivados to understand Sivados' trade secrets. Surali explains to Peter about Sivados' trade secret that using his ships, Sivados smuggles weapons from the war-torn countries in exchange for gold, whose selling price is much higher in London. Now, the modus operandi is simply very impressive. Sivados has companies that offer services for wedding and funeral events. The vehicles that are brought in these events are also used to smuggle the weapons and gold. One more thing, Surali is an expert in making country bombs that we saw back in the scene, guns and bullets too. In one such funeral event, Peter's gang led by Surali and John raid Sivados' funeral van and get hold of the weapons being smuggled. Sivados and his men assume that a new white gangster is at play. Attila is a single mother to a 7-year-old son named Dhiran. Surali takes Attila on a date to a restaurant where he meets his old acquaintance Murugesan, working as a dishwasher in this restaurant, and introduces Attila as his fiancé. After knowing more about Sivados' trade secret, Surali and John raid Sivados' boatyard where the men were taking the smuggled gold away, the operation being led by Sivados' right-hand man Rajan. Rajan intimidates Surali and Surali shows his face. Rajan recognizes Surali as he had come to his shop before, but that same night Rajan's men get killed and Rajan is killed in the same way Peter's nephew was killed using a bomb. After learning about the man behind the killing and raids, Sivados and his gang members abduct Surali. This movie isn't over yet, but I have to tell you around 90% of the viewers watch my videos but have not subscribed to the channel. Go ahead and subscribe. Do not forget to press the all notification bell. This way you will get every week's videos displayed on your YouTube screen. Back to the story. Surali ends up negotiating with Sivados in exchange for £600,000 and a parota restaurant to kill Peter in the pretext of peace talk to end their rivalry. Everything was going great, but Surali betrays Sivados and hands over a machete to Peter, who kills Sivados. Surali spares Dharani, who tells Deepan that Surali betrayed them and Sivados is dead. In return, Peter gifts Surali with an area in London to start his eatery business and also allows Tamilians to live there, calling it Little Madurai. After Sivados' death, Peter ensures that the immigrants are arrested or deported away. When Surali and Attila visit a park, Sivados' men come to take revenge and attack Surali by shooting at him several times. The cops arrive at the crime scene and a critically wounded Surali is taken to the hospital but gets saved. After he returns home, Surali sees Attila injecting a drug into his drip bag, and when he confronts Attila, she reveals her reason. Attila reveals to Surali and his mother that including her, only 3 members of her family, Attila, her brother, and her brother's son, Dhiran, had survived an aerial attack on their village in Sri Lanka during the Sri Lankan Civil War. Her brother is the man on the boat we saw in the beginning of this video. At the refugee camp, not being safe, Sivados' person convinces them to join Sivados' gang and will help them to move to London under fake passports as a family of husband, wife and child. Before their train reaches London, Attila's brother, on seeing the cop, he sits separately so that Attila and his son do not get caught with him. The fear comes true when Attila's brother is caught and held as refugee along with other illegal immigrants into Peter's private detention center. Attila and her nephew reach London safely. Attila reveals to Surili that Sivados started smuggling to acquire money required for helping the illegal immigrants and refugees in London financially and legally, and he was personally fighting to free her brother as well. And that's how Peter became his rival. On the other hand, Peter had undying hatred towards the immigrants settled in London and wanted the immigrants out of his country. On Attila's intervention, Sivados promised her that he would bring Surili into his gang, keeping him safe from harm. Sivados was their well-wisher as he wanted both of them to get married. But when Surali killed Sivados, his fight for restoring the immigrants' rights and Attila's reunion with her brother came to a standstill. Hence, Attila joined hands with Deepan and Dharani to kill Surali, but saved him as she still loved him. She tries to leave, calling him a traitor, but Surli, who has a change of heart, promises her that he will complete Sivados's unfinished mission for the immigrants and save them from Peter. Surli is told by Peter to travel to Birmingham and assassinate Mr. Andrews, who is opposing the Bicor bill from being passed at the Parliament. Surli tells Peter to release Attila's brother and few known immigrants who are placed in his detention center in exchange for assassinating Minister Matthew. Peter warns Surili to not become Robin Hood like Sivados and agrees to release only Attila's brother. After facing resistance from both Deepan and Dharani, Surili convinces them that he will together fight against Peter and Bicor. Surili traces Sivados' two absconding associates entrusted with deceased Sivados' funding money that was intended to be used for releasing immigrants, including Attila's brother. Surili and Attila mend their relationship. On the other hand, Peter comes to know that his rival Sivados' men are now Surili's new friends. Hence, Peter reminds Surili that he is living under his mercy and this equation will change if Surili goes against Peter. Then, Peter orders Surili to leave Birmingham the next day. Later, Vivek tells Surili and his men that Peter will use Minister Andrews' assassination to blame an immigrant in order to pass the Bicor bill easily, due to which the refugees and illegal immigrants would be deported or thrown into Peter's private detention center, for which Peter and few lawmakers will be making money. Surili refuses to kill Andrews and says that he won't be working for Peter anymore. This agitates Peter, who sends John and their men to attack Little Madurai and end up killing Surili's close friend Murugesan. Peter calls Surili at Attila's residence and lets him know that his friend Murugesan got killed, and next turn will be theirs. Peter's men open fire at them, and having no other option, Surili accepts Peter's demands and leaves with John for Birmingham. On the way, Surili pays honor to Murugesan and cremates his body as per their traditional last rites. With the help of Deepan and Dharani, Surili subdues John's men and kills John before heading to Peter's house. Surili, together with Sivados' men, kill Peter's gang members one by one. Surili barges into Peter's room only to find that his rocket launcher fails to shoot. Peter's associate, who wanted Minister Andrew assassinated, gets arrested. Attila's brother reunites with his sister Attila and his son Dhiren. Though Deepan and Dharani want to kill Peter, Surili has a perfect plan. Surili, Deepan, and Dharani destroy all the documents to prove Peter's British citizenship. They transport Peter to a remote land in the Middle East connecting Iraq, Iran, Syria, and Afghanistan. Then they offer Peter a fake passport from the Republic of Mattutavani and leave him there to live as a refugee to make him taste his own medicine. The movie ends here. Please do hit the like button on this video. It will help display the video on others' YouTube screen. Thanks for watching. For more storytelling videos, subscribe to the Moodies channel.